The second you think that you've overcome it and you climbed Everest, you're on that last hold and life will say, not today, motherfucker. So in my book, I talk about it a lot. It was my junior year in high school and I fell back a lot. I fell back in this fucking hole of life. I missed a whole bunch of school, was lying to my mom, had like a 1 point something GPA. I was just jacked up. I mean, I was in one of the worst spots in my life. And my mom was going through a lot of shit too. And she didn't have time to sit back and baby me. And it was me against me. Whatever was going on, I was in a bad shape. So I went to the bathroom and I had this weird haircut because I wanted attention. I was looking for something. So I would dress differently, crazy haircuts. And I went to the mirror and the reflection in it revealed a lot of bad things. And I'm looking at myself in the mirror going like, God, dog, dude, you are something else, man. Like you have created a character. And it wasn't me. It wasn't who I was inside, but I was scared for anybody to know who I was inside. So in that accountability mirror, I call it, I got real with myself. So I called myself out every which way possible. I didn't call myself out, I was just honest. I was honest. Look at yourself, man. Look at yourself. And it was that day, in a couple of days after that, I just got real with myself. And every day I came home, I called the accountability mirror. What am I gonna do today to change what I see in this mirror? I had to really wear this layer of skin. I had to develop a really callous skin on me to take whatever you're gonna call me, you're gonna call me. You're gonna see me for who I am, because I need to change who I'm not. And that accountability mirror just became raw. And when I became fat over the years, because I fell back in the hole, I called myself fat, because I was fat. And people don't want to do that. They want to say, oh, don't call yourself fat. Don't call yourself dumb. If you're not real and raw with who the fuck you are, nothing's gonna change. I joined the Air Force at 19 years old. I was about 175 pounds. And I joined to go be Air Force pararescueman. And in that process, things didn't go the way I thought they'd go. So I joined, wasn't real comfortable in the water, hated the water. So there were some evolutions that happened, and I was getting through it. I was making it through, you know, kind of just trying to see where I could fit myself in there. So long story short, had to get some tests done for some blood, and they said I had sickle cell, and it kind of gave me a way out. I hated the water. The sickle cell gave me a way out, and the doc called me in the office about a week later and said, hey, we're gonna keep you in training because sickle cell, disqualifies you. But at this time, they kept me in training. So they kept me in training. I thought to myself, I don't want to go back to the water, and I pretty much left pararescue training. I quit. In that process, I went from 175 to about 300 pounds.
Wow.
So I started finding things that made me very comfortable, things that made me feel better about myself, and that's where I started going downhill. I was spraying for cockroaches when I got out of the Air Force, and spraying at different Steak and Shakes, Red Lobster, whatever, from 11 o'clock at night to 7 o'clock in the morning. And what changed, I came home and watched this Discovery Channel show, Class 224. I came home from Steak and Shake, I sprayed it down last, get a big old large 42-ounce shake, walk across the street and get a box of mini donuts from 7-Eleven, and I would drive home for 45 minutes. So I'm driving home, turn the TV on, and what comes on, Discovery Channel show, and that's where everything changed for me. I was taking a shower, I walked out, heard these guys, and I watched the show, and it made me reflect big time on the piece of shit that I am, and I'm exactly what people said I was gonna be. I saw these guys going in the water, so I was terrified of it. I mean, I can't even express. Have you ever had a big fear And I know a lot of fighters have fears and stuff like that, but they get over them. But a lot of us have these fears that you just don't want to fucking face. And I have a lot of them, had a lot of them. And that's what created the person who's in front of you today, and we'll get into that. But just a scared bitch is what I was. But I was watching these guys going through Hell Week, Class 224, and these guys ringing the bell, quitting, dropping their helmet down, rolling out. A lot of guys just leaving. And it made me reflect on my fears, my insecurities. And I had two options: to either be that 300-pound guy who sprayed for cockroaches and made $1,000 a month, and at 24 years old, knowing when I'm 50 fucking years old, I can reflect on this and think about what guy I never became, or I can totally just sack it up and fail and fail and fail until I succeed. So I started calling recruiters up. I said, I'm gonna go be a fucking Navy SEAL. So I usually tell a story pretty fast. Like I met like one recruiter and that's how it happened, but it's a long drawn out story. So when I saw the show on the Discovery Channel, that's when I started calling recruiters. And when you tell a recruiter that you have prior service in the Air Force and that you're almost 300 pounds and you want to be a SEAL, it doesn't go too well. To get into the class I had to get into, I had to lose 106 pounds in less than 3 months. So I was like, fuck that, I can't do that. I grabbed my chocolate milkshake and went back to Ecolab. I'm going back to work, man. This is my life. So in this job, you're looking for cockroaches, looking for rodents and stuff like that. And this next morning or this next night, I went to work and I don't like cockroaches too much. I hit the mother load of cockroaches. And this restaurant got full of cockroaches and rodents and everything else. And I sat there and I said, this is my life. This is it. And I said, this ain't gonna be it for me. So in that restaurant, I quit my job and I went home. And I started working out like somebody, I became the most obsessed person on the planet Earth. If it was raining outside at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning, if it was snowing, the first instinct is don't go out there and do shit. My instinct was, we gotta fucking go out there. Anything that was fucking horrible in my life that I would normally say no, that was inhumane to most people, I had to go do it. And I started callousing my mind at this point in my life. And I lost the weight. And I went back to recruiter. I got into that class and I went through 3 Navy SEAL Hell Weeks in 1 year. Only guy to ever be in 3 Hell Weeks in 1 year, to my knowledge. The first one I didn't make it through, the next 2 I did. And I didn't stop anymore from there. And I started realizing through this process that the fucking mind is what you created. And I started opening different doors that I didn't think were even there, that I didn't think even existed. And the more doors I opened up, the more I started realizing that my potential is damn near endless. And it changed my whole mindset. So I went from David Goggins and I created Goggins.